I did it, didn't I? Hey, this is a little bit cobbled together because, as you all know, today was just going to be classroom day, and a week from today we were going to open the field. But we looked at the 10-day forecast and said there's no reason to waste a perfectly good week of soaring. So. Oh, okay. I couldn't figure out what that was. However, while Mike is turning that off, let's thank Mike for making this facility available. All right. Previous years, and I'm going to speak largely to, at least my part, I'm going to speak largely to relatively new members. You old guys who have been around 5, 6, 8, 10 years kind of know this stuff. But there's a learning curve. Your first year, your second year, your third year, so old guys, bear with me. We used to do this on the picnic tables out at the field, and it wasn't nearly as pleasant as having these classrooms. So Mike, thanks an awful lot. Kind of quick, like new members. Just raise your hands. How many new members have we got? Holy cow! Joe Marin. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got a lot. Welcome to the club, and welcome to the 2013 soaring season. Let's start out. I'll let these guys settle in. Let's start out by talking about our fleet. And again, I kind of cobbled this together because of the way we did it. There are 3 outstanding things I think about our fleet. One is, and I have to be kind of candid about it, the terrible condition our ships were in at the end of the season last year. We didn't take care of them, guys. It's just that simple. They were dirty. Things needed repair. They weren't repaired. Okay, that's 1. 2, I want to thank everybody that went to the winter work parties because they worked hard. We had a lot of work parties, a lot of man hours. A lot got done on our fleet, and in the 5 years I've been in the club, our ships right now are in the best condition they've been in memory. The work parties really did an admirable job. I think Steve Rander had a really good idea. It took some of the heat off of Steve. He put the responsibility on the ship captains, and the ship captains took that responsibility. Some of the guys all but overhauled their ships. I know that some of the ship captains actually worked on club ships and didn't work on their own ships. And we want to say thank you to those guys. In fact, let's particularly thank Bob Wieters, Marge and Bill Brickey, Ethan Ignatovich, Steve Rander, Kerry, Bill McConnell, Dave Watrous. Those guys really worked hard on the ships, on getting guys to work on their ships this winter, and we got an awfully good product. The other thing I want to tell you, let's just continue to talk about the status of the fleet, and that is our 2 tow planes are, I think, as good as they're ever going to get. We put them into Twin Oaks. Danny did what had to be done, what we had to hire him to do to sign them off. And then the most amazing thing happened. We put one at a time out in Astoria, where we found an inexpensive hangar and a pilot willing to exercise the aircraft every 2 or 3 weeks to keep further corrosion in the engines. And I got to tell you, David Graves spent the whole winter tweaking on our tow planes. Our tow planes are absolutely in the best condition they've been in my memory. So Dave, thanks for all the hard work you did on those. I mean, he not only did the mechanical stuff, he did the paint and fix and buff and shine, and it's just amazing. So lastly, let's talk about this season. Let's talk about aircraft condition. We're going to talk about that a lot. That's going to be our mantra this season. But let's talk about aircraft condition through the season. Look, if you're new and you see something's broke and you don't know how to fix it, there's an incredible knowledge base wandering around our airport out there at North Plains. Go grab somebody who's got the knowledge, because I can guarantee you, no matter what's broken, there's a guy out there that knows how to fix it. And everybody in this room owns these aircraft. We all are part owners in them. Let's take care of them this year. If you don't know how to fix it, go to Bob Wieters, go to, I'm not going to go down the list, go to the old guys. If they don't know how to fix it, they know who does.
Experience.
Yeah, if you were blonde, you wouldn't say that.
I'm just going down kind of a haphazard list. We've got some stuff out at the field that doesn't get used that I want you all to be aware of. Many of us own our own parachutes. Typically, the guys who don't own their own aircraft don't own their own parachutes. The club owns one. When we bought the 102, we got a parachute. Bill's going to take it in and get it recertified in the next couple weeks. You want to go out and go soaring rather than gliding, and get in a thermal and go round and round with the guys. Pull out the club parachute and use it. That's what it's there for. In addition to that, you're hearing a lot of talk about flarms. We own 2 flarms. They're portables. They go in all the single-place ships. I guess they go in the 2-place also. Use them. We've got them. They sit on the shelf and nobody uses them. Again, randomly, Mike is running a series of classes that, go ahead, sir.
I know what a parachute is. What was that last thing you mentioned?
Oh, a flarm.
Flight alarm, a flight alarm system. It detects other aircraft in the area.
Grab one of the old guys and we'll take you through the flarm thing and explain to you how it works.
Glad I come out here.
You're a young guy. How many do we have, Pat?
2.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put it in the Planix when they start training, and that way guys would be familiar with them from the get-go.
Well, maybe so, but we've got them and let's use them.
Let me say one thing. Bob, would you make 2 old guys?
2 old guys?
So I want to
talk about your class.
I was going to talk about the farm.
Okay.
So in addition to the club's 2 flarms, I'd like a show of hands. Who else owns a flarm? I want you to see that we have coverage in the area of people who are regularly flying. If you look, we should have about 12 of them. That's how many were bought from the club. If you have your own airplane and you're considering flying it a lot in the area, we encourage you to get a power flarm so that we can all participate, because it doesn't do us any good unless the other aircraft is equipped.
Could we do another group buy? Is there interest for another group buy?
There may be. I'd be glad to coordinate that again. That group buy looks like we're going to have to split.
Yeah.
What's the price of per flight?
The list price is $16.95, 16 or 17, and we should be able to get the price under 15 if we buy enough of them. Just to describe what it is a device which sets up I'm going to talk geek here, sets up a network mesh in the air. So all of the airplanes in the area are talking to each other. It has a GPS on board. It can receive signals from a transponder, so it knows if powered aircraft are in the area. It can receive information from other flarm aircraft. And just in the last month, it was certified as an IGC logger. So you basically combine a number of things. I mean, normally you go out and buy a logger for $500 to $1,000 just for the logger. And by the way, those of you who don't know, IGC logger is a device which logs the flight so that we can submit the flight for records and things like that. So the GPS, it's a GPS logging device. So it combines about 3 different functions into one device, and the combined value is greater than the cost.
Another thing is, one of our tow planes has a transponder, and the floor will pick up that transponder if it's being interrogated, which it normally is. So, if you're a tow pilot flying that airplane, be sure you turn that transponder on. That'll allow the gliders to see you when you're towing other gliders, to make sure they don't have any problems with you.
Okay?
How long are we gonna be one big group? Because we've got a lot of people that can't see and
No, I appreciate that. I'm going to do some opening comments here, and then we're going to divide into two groups. We're settled on two rather than three.
I don't know, it's you the man.
Yeah, let's do two groups, and I'll talk about that in a minute. We're only going to be here for 5 or 10 minutes.
Can I just, real quick, along the line of tracking, Diane gave me the old style tracking. It's called what was it before we had the electronic tracking?
Barograph?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know what to do with it. I don't want it. Is there anybody interested in having it?
Donate it to the Soaring Museum.
Yeah.
Okay. Good, thank you.
I got one in my closet.
I've got one in my closet too.
Everybody's got
In your closet? There you go. And you'll have it next time I'm at the field, Mike.
I want to set up an antique.
Talk about your classes, please, a little bit.
Oh, he has?
So let's see, how many people have been attending my classes? Thank you for coming. We've been doing a basic glider ground school on Monday evenings for the last several weeks. We have 3 more classes to go. And then after the field opens up, I'll be doing advanced soaring, talking about flight computers and preparing for cross country and that sort of thing. So that session will begin probably in about 3 to 4 weeks, and I'll post something up on the forum for that.
Those of us who have been going to Mike's classes will attest to the fact that they're good. It's really good material, it's well presented, and if you don't attend, you're missing out. It's just that simple. In fact, I'd say a third of us going to Mike's private pilot class are already licensed, and it's just one hell of a review. So
in detail.
Pardon me?
In detail.
In detail. It's really a good program, and Mike, thanks for doing that. I see I missed something. Let me just give you a status of the fleet, so we're all on the same page when we get to North Plains. We own 5 two-place gliders. We got a little two-place crunch going on right now, and we're working on resolving that. At the moment, this morning we're going to assemble the Grove 103 two-place. We have 1 Bravo Alpha already out at the field, flying, two-place obviously. 6 Bravo Alpha is on the ground for a tail wheel repair. We hope to have it up within a week. Doug Stenger, who actually needs to do the work, is just overwhelmed actually working for Hillsborough Aviation. So as soon as we can free Doug up, we'll have that Blahnik back in service. That'll put us at the level we were at last year. While I'm talking about Blahniks, the reason the Blahniks, we've had to rebuild the tail wheels, the tail wheel structures on both Blahniks is because we keep dropping them on their tail, guys. If you land, you pull the brake on hard, you got 2 big guys in the cockpit, it's going to go up on its nose. If you don't fly the tail down, it's going to slam down and we're going to have to repair them all over again. You got to fly the Blahnik tails down after you put it on the ground. So please work on that. It really means a lot to us to have those in service. The other 2 two-place airplanes, the 233 has been stripped, welded.
Most of the welding's done. We got a little more to go.
All right, most of the welding got done yesterday on the 2 Blahniks, or on the, I'm sorry, the 233. After that, this is a plea for man-hours for help. We're going to have to Scotch-Brite the entire tubular structure to take it down to a level where we can paint it, and then we're going to prime it, and then we're going to take a look at our finances and see if we can finish the project. Probably we're going to be able to keep it going. The goal is to get the 233 back in service as fast as we can, and certainly before the Alvord expedition, because we need it down there.
Is that the one that was just getting reskinned and now it's...
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, It's up in Steve's at
It took
Schooner.
a turn the other direction.
And if you take all the skin off of you, I bet we find some repair work that needs done.
Scott already did that.
And then the last two-place aircraft is our Lark. Without going into detail, we saw some correspondence from Europe last week. Well, for the new guys, the Lark is 35 years old. It drops dead at 35 years, according to the manufacturer's maintenance program. But it appears that the type certificate has been sold to a new company who's going to publish a service life extension program, and we're going to get our lovely Lark back, hopefully within the next year. Okay, bottom line is, this week we've only got two-place aircraft to do checkouts and recurrency. Let's all work together and make that happen, and shortly we're going to have 3 two-place aircraft. I'm not going to go into the singles. We're short instructors. Anybody here who would like to work on their instructors, I'm sure our existing instructors will work with you heavily. Instruction brings in more than 1/3 of our gross revenue every year. That keeps this club alive. Also slightly under 1/3 are commercial flights. Let's talk about finances for just a minute. We just said roughly 1/3 is instruction, keeps this club alive. Roughly 1/3 is commercial, keeps this club alive. The other thing that keeps this club alive is volunteerism. I got a call last year from an old member, an active member, an accomplished member, who called my house and said, I got a bunch of good ideas. And he did. He had a bunch of good ideas to make this club a better place. And I explained to him that the board is about maxed out. And what keeps this club alive is non-board members who will take charge of a project and get it done. And my comment to the guy was, of those things you've suggested, which one do you want to take charge of? Which one will you get done? And he said, oh no, not me, man. I'm going to pay my $250 a year. I'm going to pay my tow fees. I'm going to do my 2 ops dates, and that's it. That's all I'm interested in doing. If we all did that, we're going to shut down by the 4th of July. It just ain't going to work that way, folks. So we need that volunteerism. You know, cutting the grass, cleaning the airplanes, jumping in where we need it, where we need people to jump in. Let's talk finances. We're still recovering from covering 8-2 Zulu. As we all know, 8-2 Zulu kind of ate our lunch. We have a program going now called Pay It Forward, and it's really helpful if you want to put down $200 or $500 forward toward your tow fees this year. It's very, very helpful. 2 members actually have anteed up $1,000 apiece that they've paid forward to help us cash flow wise. We're not in any danger. We're a financially healthy club. We've got plenty of assets, but a little bit of cash flow would be helpful. So if you can pay it forward, we sure would appreciate it. Still on the topic of money, you all need to know that this winter the board chose to increase the cost of the tow fees. It used to cost $33 to get the 3,000 feet. This year it's going to cost $39. Everybody's going, damn, there just went my budget. Well, I did a survey of every tow in the Pacific Northwest, and rest assured we're still the cheapest. So that's all I can say about that. We've also, when you sit ops and you're selling 5-packs and people walk up and say, tell me about this 5-pack, what's it going to cost? We've increased the price of a 5-pack from $450 to $500. So put that into your sales pitch when you're sitting ops.
Still all inclusive?
It still includes, what does it include?
5 tows, 5 aircraft rentals, 5 hours of instruction, and a $50 discount towards your club membership.
Books?
Not your membership, your initiation fee.
Your initiation.
No longer includes the books?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a logbook,
And Knopf?
No, I don't think we have Knopf in there. Do we have Knopf in there?
Yeah, I think we're giving Knopf out.
Either that or transition gliders, depending upon whether it's a power pilot.
Depending on who it is, that's right. Yeah. Okay, there are two books, the Knopf book or Transition the Gliders.
Which is a
You
Knopf
know,
book.
Which is also a
I
Knopf.
know you
book.
It's also a Knopf book?
$4.95.
All right.
It's called, one's called Basics to Solo and the other one's called Transition.
All right, very good. The guys who are standing, I'm getting through this as fast as I can. We're going to break up and go to 2 classrooms. Let's talk a little bit about our news group or our message group. That's our way of communicating with you. That's how we tell you what's going on. Some folks have chosen not to subscribe to the news group, not to receive its messages because of all the junk people post up there. You know, while it's cool, don't put up pictures of World War II aircraft. Don't say hi to your buddies. Ask how the wife is doing, all that stuff. Let's use a little bit of discipline on our news group so that it's information that we want to get out to the group.
And we do have a Facebook page if you want to post that other stuff to share with the rest of the world.
Good place to share the how are things going. Thanks, Ann. We're going to break up into 2 groups, and you guys will stay in the same location. The 6 presenters will rotate. After we're done with all of that, Don Flynn, raise your hand, please. Students who haven't been hooked up with instructors and instructors, if you hook up with Don after the meetings, we're going to try to pair people up and get the instruction program going. Co-pilots, get together with Bob Brock. Bob has his SOP. Bob and Dave and that Bob have worked real hard on a co-pilot SOP for the winter. It's actually wonderful. You need to get with Bob and sign off on it that you've indeed read it. While I'm at it from here, I'm just trying to do catch up here, guys. We've got 5 gliders parked on the edge of the airport here. We picked up at the warehouse at 7:30 this morning. When we leave here, hopefully a big bunch of you are going to head straight to North Plains where we're going to put those gliders together. There's no reason we can't start flying with tow planes and 1 Bravo Alpha in the meantime, is there?
Insurance?
Insurance is kicked in. We
should
thanks.
be able to. We should be able to.
Okay. We can actually get some flying going on and some currency building while the rest of us put the gliders together. That's what it's going to take to get it done.
So that's different than what came out in the email, right?
No.
No.
Not really.
The email said today was the safety and next weekend was assembly.
No, there was another email.
You haven't been paying attention.
I just read the information that comes to me.
Have you not been reading the news group, Ann?
No, I'm not.
No, I sent out I sent out a supplemental email yesterday.
I get Bill's emails and I don't get anything else.
Check
So
your spam box, because about 1/3 of your stuff goes in my spam box.
I'm just
All
asking
right.
the question because I get calls from other people who don't get information.
All right, squawk standby.
It is a change from the original plan, but we are assembling today.
What we've done is we checked the 10-day weather.
Yep.
And we said, why waste this week? It's going to be a wonderful week. So we're putting it all together today. Now, I'm glad you brought that up because as initially advertised, we need a group of guys and gals to show up at the warehouse at 9 o'clock a week from today, and we need to empty the place out. If you're a private ship owner, you got to be out by next Sunday night, because that's when we're cutting off the rent to save a little money. So we need pickup trucks or SUVs with the seats down or whatever, but we need to empty the warehouse out at 9 o'clock next weekend. The flying part starts today. And Wednesday, and Friday.
Couple extra push brooms and some dustpans.
Ah, push brooms, dustpans, we're gonna need all that. Our landlord has been most gracious to us. Those of you who remember doing maintenance down at Malala in the cold, dark, damp, windy hangar, I'm sure really appreciate this warehouse we've been in. Let's leave it in really good nick for this fella.
Moving the gliders, let's talk about the freeway.
Go for it.
So, those of you who have brought gliders over and going to North Plains, do not attempt to go to North Plains via North Plains Glencoe exit, because the Glencoe exit westbound is currently closed. So if you have a glider you're towing, you really want to go out Jackson School. So go back up to Evergreen and either go all the way out Brookwood or go to the next major one, which is Jackson School. Head up that way. If you go all the way over to Glencoe, you're going to have to run through town or run around the backside past Dick's place in order to get to the glider port. Because westbound on-ramp at North Plains is closed while they're doing that bridge work. Yeah, you can get on and off at Dersham, but I'm saying if you're trying to take the glider from here to Dersham, the westbound on-ramp at North Plains is closed.
Off of Glencoe Road.
Off of Glencoe Road. So don't take Glencoe.
More importantly, if you go to Subway, you have to come back the back way. We cobbled today together. So let's not have any accidents today when we fly. Let's take our time, let's do it right. In fact, you know, this is the spring safety meeting. Our goal this year is we're not going to bend any airplanes. We're not going to hurt any people. And we're going to be so diligent we're not going to have any incident reports this year. Let's do it right this year, guys. Not that we didn't last year, but let's continue our good safety record.